Here we go. We are beginning this episode of the RR Show, and it's going to be a fun grab bag episode. Going to be diving into TIFU. Some other good stuff, like petty revenge, entitled people, and back to TIFU. So it's a TIFU sandwich episode with me, Vince. So let's get started right now. As I said, our first story is coming from r/TIFU, posted by user academicnecessary89. TIFU by being the world's most awkward customer. TIFU by being the most awkward customer at my local grocery store. I stopped by after work to get some stuff we needed for dinner. One of the items was the Heat-and-Go macaroni cheese dishes that we plan on having as a side. The Bob Evans brand, specifically. It's important. So I looked around the store a bit and I couldn't find it. So I asked an employee for help. Unfortunately, I was not sure of the brand name, and I said with my full chest, "Do you know the Bob Ross, where the mac and cheese is?" Yep, you read me right. Bob Ross, famous painter. She chuckled a bit and started showing me where it was, and in my embarrassment, instead of saying thank you when we found it, I said happy little cheese, then grabbed the product and walked away. But, OP, you say, that's not bad, just wait, you reader, there's more. I grab the rest of my items and head towards the registers when I see an employee I recognize, a cute guy who's previously expressed interest in me, and I decide to try and pay him a compliment without disturbing his working. So I approach him, ready to compliment him. But instead of being slick and saying a proper sentence, I trip over my own feet and fully slam all 200 pounds of my mannish figure onto the floor right next to him, spilling the contents of my basket everywhere. He helps me up, hands me my Bob Ross mac and cheese, and I mutter a quiet thank you before speed walking to the farthest legal register to pay for my items and leave. But of course, I don't stop there. I really should have stopped there. Instead of leaving, I put my bag in the car and head back in to try and compliment him and apologize for my clumsiness. But he's busy talking to a coworker and I feel too awkward. So I start browsing to the nearest aisle and end cap, and I'm waiting for him to break his convo. Turns out I was standing there with a limp leg, browsing random gift cards and fuzzy socks for 5 minutes before he walks away, not noticing me. I'm currently defeated, reader. Now I'm going to cook dinner, relax, and hope for my brain to rest whatever awkward and tragic demon that just plagued me for the last 45 minutes. Thank you for reading. The next story is coming from r/Tales from Tech Support, posted by user ... Tear. Customer couldn't remember the past 10 minutes, apparently. For context, I work in a little smartphone repair shop where our sole mission is fixing hardware issues. No tech wizardry here. My role, however, doesn't involve wielding a soldering iron. It's more about playing the charming face of the shop and juggling office tasks. With just a trickle of customers strolling in daily, the job is usually stress-free. Well, most of the time. But among the ordinary tales of broken screens and cracked cases, there's one that truly stands out. One day, an elderly gentleman walked into our shop, concern written all over his face. He explained that he couldn't hear a word when he talked on his phone, convinced that the microphone was to blame. I simply corrected him, suggesting it might be the speakers that were misbehaving. So I inspected the speakers, but lo and behold, the built-in diagnostic tool on the phone decided to not work. So I just gave him a call. I dialed away and no sound, though no problem. With a smile, I assured the customer that we could fix it swiftly. All we needed was a speaker replacement. He asked about the cost and time to fix, and I told him 70 smekels, not actual currency, and 2 hours for the job. The deal struck. He entrusted his phone to me. Since it was relatively a quick fix, he'd be back to reclaim his phone the very same day. As the 2 hours passed, our elderly friend returned to collect his phone, eager to confirm its renewed health. I retrieved it for him, and he posed the quintessential question. Does it work properly now? Truth be told, I hadn't personally performed the repair, but I assured our technician had given it a thorough test. Nevertheless, he needed reassurance. So he requested that we make a real phone call together to put it to the test. I complied, dialing his number. As the phone rang for a while, I ended the call, confident the speakers were back in tune, as indicated by the melody. Yet the man remained unconvinced. He wanted to hear it in actual conversation. I obliged, handing him the phone, and we connected. To his delight, it worked. Satisfied, he settled the bill, wished me a pleasant evening, and made his exit. I reclined in my chair, replaying the exchange in my mind. Just another day at the office, or so I thought. However, no more than 10 minutes later, our shop phone rang. I answered. Phone repairing company, good evening, how can I assist you? The voice on the other end responded. You called me 10 minutes ago, what's the matter? I was bewildered. The company phone had been in my possession the entire time, and I haven't made any calls. It was the same gentleman from our store, now on the other end of the line. I explained that he had been in our shop only a short while ago, and he chuckled, apologized, and promptly hung up. The day took an unexpected comedic twist, and my coworkers and I shared the heartiest laugh we have had in quite some time. The next story in this episode is coming straight from r/petty revenge, posted by user Diver Goes Down. Wage theft revenge. About 17 years ago, I took a job in Springfield, Massachusetts as a carpenter to build a rather large convenience store. He wasn't paying quite as much as I wanted, but he really liked my qualifications. So I negotiated for more vacation time. I don't think he originally planned to keep me on that long. He allowed me 3 weeks a year, accrued from day one. Anyway, fast forward 8 months and the project is winding down. He probably wanted me to quit, so he moves into the shop, helping his mechanic maintain his fleet of Mack trucks used to supply the other 28 stores he owns with fuel. Head mechanic and I hit it off. Well, I don't mind the work, even though it's a bit greasy. At the time, I was traveling a lot, my wife was doing well, and we were doing 3 vacations a year in the Caribbean. We're avid scuba divers. Fast forward 2 years. Had been back from my December vacation for about a month, and I was getting psyched up for my February trip when the owner pulls me aside after my morning meeting. He tells me that I've been getting extra vacation time erroneously. He tells me that I do not have 6 days banked like my last paycheck said, but I was 6 days in the hole. Anyways, he's all apologetic, says don't worry, it won't affect my upcoming trip, etc., and that eventually I will start accruing time again. Sure enough, next paycheck shows me a negative 6 days. Pissed, I call the Department of Labor. I tell them the company and the situation. They literally say, oh, owner's name, yeah, he does this kind of stuff often. They explain how I can file a complaint, and I most likely get my money back. 12 days pay equals $2,400, but that I'd be most likely fired that day. I didn't have anything lined up, so I decided to think about it for a couple of days. So during my day, I bring trucks in and out of the shop. I grew up on a farm and also have my CDL, brake jobs, oil change, etc. I decided on how I was going to get my money back. I have 2 5-gallon gas cans, and I siphon a couple of gallons out of every truck. Each truck has 2 90-gallon tanks, so 2 gallons is only 1% of that, hardly noticeable. Sure, there's cameras in the shop, but if you know where they are, it's not hard to stay out of their sight. I take these 2 cans home every night and put it in my home heating oil tank. I did this for 6 years. I had a 330-gallon tank. So eventually, especially summertime, it would be full and I couldn't take any more. It used to cost anywhere between $2,500 and $4,000 per year to heat my house, depending on the price of fuel. One winter, it was $3.89 a gallon, and I would use about 3 tanks a year. I don't steal from employers unless they steal from me first. I figured I saved about $18,000 over 6 years and only got screwed out of about $2,500. The next story is coming from r/entitled people, posted by user Anna Katid. Idiots trying to make me work for free. So I'm a recently certified makeup artist and licensed esthetician in the state of New Hampshire. I've been practicing makeup and artistry for almost 3 years now on other people. I've been through a lot in my life and truly just want my job to bring me joy. So because makeup is my passion, I want to make others feel beautiful as a job. It's going to take time to build clientele, which I'm about to start, and working as a bridal MUA's assistant, which I'm super excited about. I'll doubt I'll have an official business established for at least a couple of years. It all depends. But for now, I'm just doing what I can, and I'm always excited to have people model for me. I know I'm good at what I do, but I will never stop practicing and getting better at it. I just want to feel I've mastered it. And I'm still a noob, so I wouldn't say I'm the best by any means, but I've done several TV commercials and had enough practice to know I'm not bad. The goal is to work on everyone, no matter your skin tone, skin type, gender, age, sexuality, etc. Like I don't discriminate people who do piss me off. Anyways, I had somebody message me on my Instagram account saying that they wanted their makeup done for an event along with 6 other people. I said I'm down for the challenge, always excited to do makeup on others, and I want to do more with multiple people at a time, prepare for future bridal parties, etc. So I said I would. Then they proceeded to tell me that I'm expected to come and do their makeup and facials on 7 people total for free. I don't think I have the messages anymore, but they were rude about it too. Like just full on expecting me to think that was cool. Like what does that do for me? I was in total shock. Like, excuse me? Just because I'm a new makeup artist doesn't mean I work for free. If I'm asking you to model for me, then yes, it's free. But if you're asking me to do your makeup, then it's my time and my money on the line. I'm not even charging people yet, but I obviously would have if this was a serious offer. I would have been fine doing discounted services too. But after they said this, I obviously was like, yeah, no, I don't do free makeup and facials. The person who messaged me on IG called me a whore. I laughed and blocked them. Then comes the next day. I don't have my phone number listed on the IG account, so not sure if they looked me up and found it somehow, or if someone gave them my number. But one of the other 7 people who was expecting me to give them free services texted me, this time with a new and improved offer, $50 total, for 7 people. Not $50 a person, 50 total. I did the math. That would be about $7.14 a person. Assuming each person takes an hour per service, I'm not super fast at makeup yet, and I won't skimp on a facial, then it was more like $3.57 an hour, or service per person. I once again was like, are you kidding me? I told them, you don't set my prices. Like the audacity, it truly kills me. I will never understand people like this. Do you just not have any self-awareness, let alone self-respect? Unbelievable. No thanks. I'd rather chill at home drinking tea, watching TV, and cuddle up with my cat and make 0 money than bust my ass for such lousy pay. Such a joke. How pathetic. Thought you guys might laugh at this one. I was just in awe at how insane these people are. Even if they had apologized and had genuinely asked me what I charge for my services, there's no way I'm doing anything for you after someone in your group called me a whore for not accepting free work. That's actually insane, and I just know that I'd be in hell for a day if I accepted that. Gave me a good laugh, at least. Just another day, another entitled person blocked. So thanks for being with us. The RR Show is a production of Evergreen Podcasts and Wessler Media. Now, if you'd be so kind, please follow or subscribe to our show wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're feeling extra nice, you might as well leave a 5-star review. But for more, visit the website, rrshow.com. That is rrshow.com. I'm your host, Vince, and we'll see you next time here on the RR Show.